Hello friends, TechManPat here. Today we're going to do a bit of a deep dive and my thoughts about Windows 11 Dev. It's actually the first update, but I want to talk about some issues that I've found. But please note that the bugs and the issues that I'm describing are again the first developer build. It is not supposed to be a daily driver. It's not supposed to be out in public. It's only for developers to first get a look at Windows 11, actually put in a lot of suggestions and fix these bugs that you might face. Fix the issues before it does go mainstream in apparently October this year, 2021. But I want to walk it through with you. I want to show you some of the things that I found, some of the interesting things, some things that I think are really cool, some things that I think aren't so very cool, but let's go through them. And right now the desktop just crashed. Hello. And of course, I'm recording through Streamlabs. So this is the desktop, and I have an ultra wide screen, so it's 32 by 9. And this is the first thing that I really like about Windows 11. For the sake of a ultra wide screen, having the start button in the middle is probably one of the best things that I have seen happen to Windows. In the past, it has been all the way to the left over here, and you can still bring that back if you want to. Now, my muscle memory is straight to the left every time, but over the last few weeks, it has come back down to the middle, and I'm pressing the middle more often, and I really like it. Whenever you open up anything, it opens up there in the bottom. You can see here that they'll just pop up as nice little icons, and I think that's pretty cool. At the end of the day, it is just a standard taskbar for Windows, and it looks a little bit more like Apple's Center one. It doesn't pop up when you mouse over it, and the start button is always to the left of the icons, which is again absolutely fine. Now, my first complaint about this start menu is that you can't fit enough apps. You can't stretch this out. There's no way to have it go further or beyond this. It has a little scrolly function. Oh, that finally popped up. Wow, it's a little bit slow. We'll talk about performance in a second. So you can only scroll down, and as you can see, I tend to want to have a lot of my tools that I work with right here, maybe some video games, maybe even tabs. And in the past, using Windows 10, I was able to basically navigate them across and create little groups. And this unfortunately isn't possible here at the moment. You can of course search, and when you press the command, as in the Windows key S, you can search straight away. But at the end of the day, it's not enough space. I think that's my first really bad complaint. And if you are used to having a lot of icons inside your start menu like I am, because I don't like having things on my desktop, I like a clean desktop, then this will be quite painful. It also has the things recommended to show your recent files. Click here, start saving. There's a lot of wasted space right here. I think they could clean that up quite a bit. When you right click on this, of course, you get the sleep, shutdown, and restart. That's all good. And when you right click on the start menu, you get all the other options that you end up going to. But my biggest problem is still here, and that's the Windows 10 and 11 way of showing uninstalled programs. So if I want to go to apps and features, this is where you actually uninstall programs. It's a pain to use. I like the old control panel one, and I still just type it in and go control panel and go uninstall a program. That is my favorite way of doing it. This one, not so much. This bit here, sign in with your Microsoft account, can you experience across your devices? I'm already signed in, so there's a couple of bugs. As you can see, I am signed in over here. If I go down, I don't like this view. It's easier to see all the lists in a much smaller list. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff installed on this computer. About the start menu, you can customize quite a few things. You can change, if I have to do that, I right click on here, taskbar settings, and I can change things like search on or off, task view, widgets. I'll share widgets with you, and I'll share tasks with you. This is probably the default you'll have on. You'll have search on there, but there's no point because the start menu itself has a search. We've got the taskbar behavior, which we can actually change. You can have it to the left, like so, and I still prefer it to the right, and you can also hide it, so you can mouse over it and it pops out. It's a little bit glitchy. It still flashes every so often, but I do prefer seeing the taskbar, so I'll leave that as on. There's a couple of options here. I'm not going to go into all of them. I just want to show you some of the major changes in Windows 11, and of course widgets. So a lot of this stuff here is basically the same as Apple and Android has when they navigate on your device to the left. I personally do not use it. There's no reason for it for me, and I just don't think there's much reason for it to exist on an actual PC unless it's a tablet. I think it's easier to just go to a website and actually open up Brave or Chrome and navigate to the website that you want to read the news on. The other big changes is obviously the actual icons. So as you can see here, the icons are a little bit different. These are the same icons from the latest Windows 10 developer beta and the latest update, so that's okay. These ones look a little bit different. The colors are a little bit more pronounced, I have noticed, and we've got network locations pretty standard. One thing that's interesting is that over here from the top, you've got desktop documents, downloads, blah, 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 pictures, but not videos. So you have videos here. It's kind of almost omitted from the quick access, which I think it shouldn't, but nonetheless, it's there. You can also pin it to the quick access one, which is cool. And of course, we've got our hard drives and network locations. At the top, we've got a new bar here. So if we go to desktop, for example, we press the new thing, you can create a new folder. These are all new icons. You can create a shortcut, bitmap image, text image, whatever it might be. And of course, it does show up on the desktop. And this is the part that I really find interesting. When you right click, you've got a completely different menu. So we can open it, compress it to zip file, copy as path. That is a really interesting option. I really like that. That means you can navigate to that file and you copy that path somewhere else. Properties and show more options. Now, show more options opens the classic view that you have on Windows 10. But I want to go back to here. Have you noticed there is no copy paste? What they've done is they've put icons in there. So here's your cut, here's your copy. This is the rename one. I was looking for that today. I couldn't figure it out. And here's your share. Share is an interesting one. You can now share the file to some people. It's a very mobile-centric attitude towards it, which is pretty cool. And of course, the last one was bin it. So delete. I don't know why they put delete and in brackets delete, but again, it's new. You've still got your open with, choose another app, that's all good. But obviously you can still go Control X and copy and paste. That's all still the same. You can change the icons to be extra large, small, and so on, and details, just like Windows 10 could. The other thing you might notice is the rounded corners. I really like this. It looks much nicer, looks really clean, and the way they've designed this top bar is really nice and clean too. There's a couple of things you can select here, and I love the dark theme. That is probably my favorite. It's nice, it's clean, and of course everybody should be doing dark theme. I think it's just the thing that's in, and I bet you in a couple of years we'll all go back to light theme because it's going to be so bright, so happy. Personally, I probably won't. I like the clean look of the black background. Now, obviously, there's a different personalizations you can do, and we'll have a look at that right now. So one of the things that you might have noticed is that in some previews of people showing the desktop is that the refresh button was missing. They brought that back last week. You can obviously change all the view things. The icons are a bit different. It looks nice. It just looks nicer. We still have the option to view the Windows terminal. So let's look now to the right, which is our little taskbar notifications, which doesn't have notifications anymore. When you click on that edge, it only brings out the calendar and it has a nice clean view and you can see them all, and then you can make it smaller, whatever. It's cool. I like it. I'm really stoked with this. I always like looking at the calendar and I really want to see the days ahead. This one bothers me a little bit. You've got a box for both the internet and the audio. It kind of feels like one button, and when you click on it, it opens up sort of the mini controls like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, all this sort of stuff, night light, and it's all there. But then if you right click on sound, this is just a glitch, so let me try that again. It brings up sound, and you right click on here, brings up network settings. Fine, that's fine. Obviously it just feels weird that there's two now, and this is by far my favorite feature, and that is a way to navigate and move the windows around to fit what you're doing. So let me show you what you can do. You can of course drag it to the right, which will fit half the screen, and then just like in Windows 10, you can choose what needs to go here. So we can say EA desktop right now. We can also obviously move things around on the bar at the bottom and whatnot, which is pretty standard. But let's say we grab this one here, we put it to the top, we can actually stretch it and pull it back. So if you have a window right here, you can pull it to the left here and then shrink it and put this one here to fit in right in between. And you just need to find the right place. There we go. and that'll fit itself right in between here. Then if we want to make this a little bit smaller, we drag it out, and look, this one gets bigger. And as I edit this video right now, I can also play some games. So the other thing you can do is drag this one down, and then you can drag this one right in the box here. You just got to find the right place on the screen. So if I drag it to the right, it will sort of go, and then you'll see the gray fill in, and you can drop that in. This is a multitasking godsend. It is absolutely fantastic. So here's Steam. I can display it over the right hand side or bring it down to the bottom, and that will resize it and bring this side back here, and I can again choose what I want. This is absolutely fantastic. Whenever I'm working on a script, it's just brilliant. As you can see, these little tabs pop up, and you can grab them, you can drag them, and it resizes things as you go. Same here, you'll just see it pop out if I navigate my actual mouse across. And again, look at that, both sides get resized. That's really, really cool. And of course, grabbing this side, I can also grab this, pull it up to the top, and as I drag to the right there, it should start resizing itself to try and fit in the spot that I want. So if I bring it over here, and grab these ones, put it there, and then maybe put this one in here. Is that gonna fit right in that small spot? No, it's not. It's going to fit in another spot. So it does, it's smart enough to know that, okay, this is a square, so hence it should fit into that square. I think people are really going to like this. This is something that Mac and iOS just do not do well at all. I absolutely hate it on the Mac, and so this is something that Windows power users will absolutely love. Now, I haven't figured out if there's any shortcuts, because Linux, for example, had a shortcut where you could hold Control and press up and down and do all sorts of things. I think there might be a command for it. I haven't figured that out, but as you can see, it's a really cool way to organize your windows. So let's talk performance, and I don't know if I need to share my screen anymore about that, but Windows 11 has been performing really, really well for me. Initially, when I installed the dev update the first time around, I had a multitude of issues within Windows 11 with performance, things not loading properly, programs not opening, so I actually went back, and then accidentally overnight, it did it again and updated to Windows 11 dev, because when you're in the dev lineup, you just go straight to it, and you can pause it for 7 days and you got to re-pause it again. Anyway, that's Microsoft for you. So when it did that the second time, all of a sudden everything was working really, really well. So if anybody out there is having issues with Windows 11 hanging or slowing down, not opening things quick enough, and you might have noticed here that things weren't opening like, you know, instantly, but I still think it's pretty fast. This is probably, in this version that I'm on right now, has been the most stable Windows 11 build so far, and it's really impressive to see, because the first time when I tried Windows 10, it was very unstable. I had to go back to 8.1, but this time around 11, it's probably not a far departure from 10 in regards to the back-end stuff. It's very much a new look. Things are still being created, things are still being edited, but so far the performance has been really, really good. Obviously, the dev builds are going to keep getting updated, and you have to stay on it once you're in it, so I only suggest you change it if you really want to deal with some of the problems, because there are some bugs. Sometimes things just hang, there's a bit of a stall, and if it's your daily driver, I don't recommend it, but I'm doing it. And I think if you actually use your computer to make money, let's say at your job, like in the office, don't get Windows 11 unless you're obviously developing for it. At the end of the day, I can get away with a lot of these things because I just use it to edit some videos, and you know, if I lose the videos, I can just record them again and just edit them and then upload them to YouTube. I don't really care about losing the files after they're uploaded to YouTube, so hence it doesn't bother me at all. The other thing, gaming, right? HDR has been improved significantly from what it used to be in the Windows 10 implementation. It's still not perfect, and it's still not something I'd recommend, but games with HDR seem to work a little bit better, and it's very quick in switching from HDR to non-HDR mode. So in all honesty, you're actually probably not missing out on much. Windows 11 is certainly a great new personalized theme. That's about it. All the features under the hood are more of life helping, a little bit of change, and to be honest, Microsoft can't make the biggest of changes because it might alienate a few people. The thing is, Windows 11 will be a free upgrade if you have the TPM module. More on that on a later video. Won't go into detail what that security module is for now, but it just means that most new computers will be able to install Windows 11. As long as you've got Windows 10, you'll get this as a free upgrade. The good thing is about having a free upgrade is that you get the latest security patches, and Windows 10 will be going away very soon. And in this world of malware, security hacks, and all sorts of crazy other things, this is pretty important to have. Microsoft is really making their money from the enterprise crowd and making sure that every single person out there who has a personal computer is running Windows, because if they go to work, they go, well, I might as well just continue using Windows, and they know how to use it and they know how to use their products. That is their main mission. Windows 11 is going to be a great upgrade. I think everybody should upgrade when it does come out. I don't see any issues so far why you shouldn't. There's no massive redesign to scare people away like there was with Windows 8 and 8.1 and 10. 10 was a bit of a redesign, but not as much, and again, Windows 11 isn't, and calling it Windows 11, even though they said they weren't going to call it Windows 11, is just a way to get people on board to see that it is the next exciting thing. Friends, thank you very much for watching. I hope this gave you a bit more information about what Windows 11 is exactly, and maybe put away a little bit of the excitement, because you know what, it's not that exciting. It's a little bit interesting, but you can wait. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Bye.